All right, we are in the dog days of summer, and what better way to celebrate said dog days of summer by taking a little road trip? This time, Chicago scene up in Milwaukee for a one-tank road trip kind of a thing. Milwaukee today, then I'm having a Madison tomorrow, but let's get started with Milwaukee here. As you can see, I'm here at Third Space Brewing, and that'll be the first stop along the Milwaukee Beer Trail. Yeah, they have a beer trail here. So that's first, 1840 Brewing is next, and then Black Husky Brewing to finish it off, and then a concert later tonight. And then Madison tomorrow to check out Farmer's Market, one of the biggest ones in the world, a cheese trail, and then we'll finish up with something every Chicagoan knows a little bit about, Frank Lloyd Wright. So that is the Chicago scene on the road, but I'm gonna talk to the gentleman that started this space right here, because they met at Space Camp back in the day. So that's an interesting story in itself. So let's go inside. All right, I made my way inside Third Space with one of the co-founders, Kevin. How are you, Kevin?
I'm good, how are you?
So I'm great. Nothing to do with Space Camp. I might have said something about Space Camp earlier. I just made that up. Third Space is about having balance. Why don't you explain how you got that name?
So the name comes from the idea that you've got your home, you've got your work, but everybody needs a third space. So that's a place where you can go, kind of get away from things, meet with friends, have good conversation, have beer, food, enjoy yourself.
And this facility that you have here, it's all encompassing. Everything is here on premises, which kind of makes you stand out from other places because you got everything here, right?
Yeah, we're a decent sized production operation that's doing kegs and canning all out of the same facility where we've got our tap room, our beer garden, everything all in one spot.
Yeah, we walked around a little bit and we got to see the tanks, the canning process. You do all that here. Where can people find your beers outside of this space here?
So our beer is in all of Wisconsin. So we just went statewide this year, and we're in most major groceries, liquor stores, and tons of bars and restaurants. I think we got about 2,600 customers, bar and restaurant and grocery locations around the state.
Yeah, you guys are killing it today too. I mean, you just opened up and you had a line waiting to get in here and people are sampling it. What's the beer of choice right now for summertime?
Summertime, people are drinking a lot of our Frog Vice, which is our fruited sour. Frog stands for fig, raspberry, orange, ginger. So it's got a really kind of interesting raspberry ginger character on a nice sour beer. And then today we're launching two brand new beers. One's called Citra Fun Times. It's a single hop double IPA with Citra. And the other one is Lavender Lemonade Sour, so another kettle sour beer.
And you also have you're expanding your outdoor space, it looks like, here with the new beer garden, right?
Yeah, we're in the process of adding on just under double the space to our outdoor. That'll be more beer garden space and future event space for us.
So for people who want to come by, what's the best way for them to do that in terms of looking you guys up on the internet?
Just check us out on our website or Google us, and then coming up here, we're easy access we're right off downtown, right by the train station, close to the ballpark and the
yeah,
casino.
Just like steps away from the casino ballpark. Is it thirdSpaceBrewing.com? Is that the same thing for social media?
Yeah, we're thirdSpaceBrewing.com.
And they'll connect you to all the socials and all that good stuff. So Kevin, thank you very much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it, you showing me around the space.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, that is Third Space Brewing. First stop along the Milwaukee Beer Trail. Next up, 1840 Brewing. I'm gonna head over there right now to get a little sample on this continued quest to hit most of the beer spots along the beer trail in Milwaukee. All right, well, I made it on my second stop of the beer trail at 1840 Brewing here in Milwaukee. I'm gonna talk to Ashley here in a second to get the scoop on what makes this place super unique. So let's head inside, yeah? All right, I made my way inside 1840 Brewing, and I'm here with Ashley. How are you, Ashley?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. So, Ashley, tell me about this space and what makes it unique, because you guys have a little bit of everything happening here, right?
Yeah, we do. We've got a triple IPA, we've got a peanut butter and jelly sour, and we've got a little bit of everything in between.
Peanut butter and jelly sour?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's delicious and crazy. A little bit of blackberry, a little bit of peanut flour, and then the yeastiness is like the bread, and it just works.
And for people who've never been here before, like what sets you apart from other breweries? You know, because you started off with a specific type of brewing where you were all over the place. What'd you call it earlier?
An urban farmhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So that means basically like in the old days, there were like the individual farmhouse breweries doing their own unique styles of different things. And we're kind of taking that and running with it. Our name 1840 comes from the first year there was a commercial brewery in Milwaukee. So we like to pay homage to those old styles using new techniques and new innovations.
Fantastic. And for people who want to come by, is there reservations that they have to do, or they just kind of walk in, or how's that work?
If you want to have beer with us, you can just walk on in, grab a seat. We've got plenty of room for people. Bring your dog if you want. If you want to,
dog friendly?
Yeah, we are.
Very cool.
If you want to reserve beer to take home, Friday mornings at 9 a.m. we are releasing something new just about every week, and you can reserve a bottle or two and bring them home.
And for people who want to learn about you guys, is a website that should head to?
Yeah, 1840brewing.com.
Is that the same thing for like social medias and stuff like that? The same type of handle?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Ashley, thank you very much. I appreciate you just taking a little time. I know it's a busy day. It's a Friday, so I'll be on my way after I finish my beer. So thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in.
No problem. All right, so I'm making my way down Milwaukee's beer path. I'm in the River West neighborhood at Black Husky. So that is my last stop on this tour. I'm going to talk to one of the owners. This place has actually got a really cool story. Started up in Northwoods at this little brew house up in the Northwoods. Now it's a neighborhood joint right here. I'm going to talk to one of the owners, Tim. He's going to explain the whole thing right now. All right, so now I've made my way over to River West neighborhood, and I'm in a very local spot with a local brewer. This is Tim of Black Husky. How you doing, Tim?
Living a dream.
So you guys are nestled in this neighborhood right here, and you guys started from humble beginnings up in the North Woods and that brew house up there to down here in this neighborhood. Tell me about it.
Well, we had started the brewery up in northern Wisconsin in a tiny little place called Pembine, and that's where I grew up, and we actually had a sled dog kennel there, had 23 dogs, hence the name Black Husky Brewing. We were up there we started in 2010. I would drive down once a week and make deliveries, and at some point we decided we probably needed to come down here and be where all the beer was being sold. And we ran into this building. It was a car repair shop, and it needed some work done on it, to say the least. But it's been a great neighborhood. We'll be here 5 years, I think, next Thursday. It'll be our 5-year anniversary.
And you are on, whether you know it or not, they tell me that you're on the beer trail of Milwaukee here. And there's also something else that happens right off the street here. Every year, you guys celebrate a certain event that happened here. Why don't you tell me about that real quick?
Well, it's called the Locust Street Music Festival of Arts. And it hasn't happened the last year because the reason why a lot of things haven't happened. And I believe at one point it still may be the largest free music festival in the United States.
And it happens right outside here?
They block off the street, and about 6 blocks or so, and there are bands and people and weird stuff all over the place. And of course they have, one of the best things they have is they have the beer run. And the beer run is 1.8 miles with 4 mandatory beer stops.
Oh, I bet. And for people that come through here, you got a very Northwoods vibe, but along with that bar right behind you that you did yourself. You brought from the Northwoods down here when you expanded, right? But what are you known for? What do you want people to know about your beer?
I think there's a couple things. I think the first thing is that we're a community place. We're here for the local neighborhood and people who live around here. We've had everything from wakes here to baby showers to dog birthdays and we just people come in and everybody shares together. You bring in your Nesco and you have some chili mac and that sort of thing in it. So I think to us it's very important that people feel welcome here and understand that what kind of place this is. The other thing as far as the beers go, I like to think that we've got a pretty wide portfolio of beers. We're probably a little heavy on the IPAs, and our probably most known beer is called Spruce, which is a double IPA made with spruce in it, and I still go up north and I get the spruce and put it in there when I make it. It is a family place, and you may have 2-3 generations of people, and there should be something for everybody.
Absolutely. And for people who want information about you guys that may be planning the trip to come up here from Chicago, what's the best way for them to find you on the internet?
Probably just go to Facebook. We are on Instagram too. I don't understand Instagram, but
that's going on Facebook, so it's all good.
And
what's the handle there?
Black Husky Brewing.
All right. Well, and do you guys have a website, or you just rather do the Facebook?
We do have a website. That's blackhuskybrewing.com, and that will direct you to Facebook.
Fantastic. Well, Tim, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And is the last stop. Tim's going to help me finish that drink there, or I'm going to help him finish that drink, I should say. It's been a long day. It's been a lot of beer crawl here on the beer trail in Milwaukee, but tomorrow we're heading out to Madison, so stick around for that. But until then, Tim, cheers, my friend.
Rolls.
All right, so after you're done with the whole beer trail in Milwaukee and your favorite band in the universe happens to be in town on the same night, you go and see them, especially at this outdoor venue that is Summerfest in Milwaukee all summer long. It's kicking back up in September. The Foo Fighters will be on that stage in a second, so stick around. Recognize that building? It's the state capitol here in downtown Madison. Tom Barnes. This is day number 2, Chicago Scene on the Road in Wisconsin. I was in Milwaukee last night. Today in Madison, checking out America's largest producers only farmers market, which basically means that all the people that are in these booths have grown, produced it. I'm talking meats, cheeses, specialty products, over 275 vendors. They all kind of just hang out on this street, or the square, I should say, which is right here on the Capitol building there. And then all of these people in booths line up around it, what they call the square. So I'm going to check that out, and then I'm going to head over to the Wisconsin Cheese Trail, because there is such a thing. I'm going to talk to Rob, and he's giving me the scoop fully on this event, the Cheese Trail, and then heading over to a Frank Lloyd Wright historical landmark, pretty significant, here up in the Madison area, maybe just a little bit further away, but nonetheless, that is the Chicago Scene Part 2. Milwaukee yesterday, Madison today, and their beautiful farmers market. You can see the lake back there. It's just really pretty. So I'm going to talk to Rob here in a second. I swear you can get lost at this farmers market here in the square in downtown Madison, and I'm here with my friend Rob from Destination Madison. How are you, Rob?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you.
Yeah, so tell me about this farmers market, because it's not just like a normal farmers market. This thing is massive, and it's on this beautiful square that you guys have right here in downtown Madison.
Yes, there's over 200 vendors, and what's interesting about this farmers market is it's the largest producers-only farmers market in the country. So everything you find here in every single stall, they are growing, they are making, and you can have conversations with them and really learn about what you're buying. So it's awesome. We get maybe 15,000 people down here every Saturday for this.
Yeah, and you have about 275 vendors approximately, and they're all the ones that are doing all the hard work selling you the goods, right?
Right. The only hard work you have to do is walk counterclockwise. That's a little secret to making this flow with that many people. You'll learn pretty quickly when you come down here. Everyone's just walking counterclockwise, picking up cheeses, picking up fresh produce, maybe some candles, and whatever kind of touches your fancy on that Saturday morning.
And is it also on Wednesdays as well? And how long does it go throughout the year here?
The Dane County Farmers Market is also on Wednesdays, just south of the Capitol Square, but still downtown. And in the wintertime, they keep it going. They move indoors at Garver Feed Mill, where they have winter vegetables as well as homemade goods available, a lot of canned goods, jarred goods throughout the winter. So you can get this homemade experience throughout the year. But really the heart of it is summertime, sunny days, beautiful Saturday morning, walking around the square.
And for people who want information about it, what's the best way for them to find that?
They can find it at Dane County Farmers Market. They can Google that, or they can go to our website, visit madison.com, and we have plenty of information about the farmers market, as well as other things that you can do while you're downtown in Madison.
Speaking of being in downtown in Madison, I'm going to swing this over just a second here, because I want to show this spot, because this is something very unique and a very unique name. How do you say this, Rob?
It is called Fromagination.
Fromagination, and what is it that makes this place so special?
So Fromagination, it's a combination of fromage, cheese, and imagination. It is imagine yourself at a European cheese store right here in downtown Madison. They have hundreds of cheeses from around the world, but their primary focus is Wisconsin artisanal cheese, which is the most award-winning cheese in the world. There are hundreds of...
I didn't know that. That's a great little factoid there.
Yeah, there's more award-winning cheeses made in Wisconsin than there are in other countries.
Take that,
combined.
France.
And we have some really innovative cheesemakers, some small artisanal cheesemakers throughout the state that produce some delicious things ranging from Goudas to variations of cheddars to mountain goat cheeses. Even though there are no mountains in Wisconsin, you still get that mountain goat style of cheese, sheep cheeses. It's a sensory wonder when you walk in there.
Yeah, it really is. When you walk in, you get greeted with that wonderful smell of the cheeses, and it's like almost like a deli in the way they have it set up, where you can pick it out of a case right there. And they also have wine pairings, I've noticed, in there. And I talked to one of the gentlemen there, and I asked them, what is it that they want people to know most about them? And they're just like, love cheese more, which I feel like that is a motto around here, right?
You can never love cheese enough.
Right.
What is great about Fromagination is they also have a number of locally made products to go along with the cheese, from crackers to jams, so you can kind of enhance your cheese experience. As you mentioned, some regional and national and global wines, some great local beers that you can get there to really make an overall wonderful cheese experience.
And they also have some little crafty things. I mean, you can basically go in there, and if you have somebody in your life that loves wine or cheese, this is a spot for them where you can pick up a good holiday gift or birthday gift, or just hey, it's a Saturday gift, right? This place has it all for them.
You know, they really do. One local tip that you really want to know about is at the front of the counter, there's a little basket with what they call cheese orphans. They're the little pieces of cheese that are left over when you cut away a block of cheese or a wheel of cheese. And so you can sample a lot of very high-end and exotic cheeses for very little cost on your end, and learn what you really love in terms of cheeses.
Well, that's a great little tip, Rob. What's the best way for people to find information about this awesome store?
All the information about Fromagination, the Capitol Square, the Farmers Market, everything about downtown Madison can be found at visitmadison.com.
Well, thank you very much, Rob. I appreciate it. I mean, this is fantastic. Rob, where am I heading next? I mentioned it to you earlier. I'm going to the Frank Lloyd Wright place. What's it called?
Talliesin. Talliesin is Frank Lloyd Wright's childhood home. He eventually made it his adult home, and it became his studio and his school, where he trained lots of very important architects in the 20th century, and it's less than an hour away from Madison.
Well, fantastic. Thank you very much. I'm going to head there right now, but I'm going to try to squeeze in one more last run around the state capitol here as I enjoy this wonderful farmers market. So this is the view outside Frank Lloyd Wright's personal bedroom here at his estate. I'm here with Christina. How are you, Christina?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. So what is the name of this place for people who might not know?
Yeah, so we are at Talliesin, Frank Lloyd Wright's home estate in Spring Green, Wisconsin. We're here at his personal residence in his bedroom.
Yeah, so and he's got his bedroom here. His wife's bedroom is just around the corner there. But tell me about this space, like what it was meant to be and what it is now.
Yeah, so he built this as his own personal residence for his family to start off with, and then as time went on, he started a fellowship of apprentices that came to live here with him, and they really formed their own community and had this self-sustaining kind of lifestyle here, all the time, of course, working on architectural plans and drawings. And today we are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, open for tours. We have some educational programming that goes on throughout the summer months. Just always welcoming people to come see the space.
And you have this visitor center, and that's where people should go first. They go to the visitor center, get their tickets, and they get the tour where they get their bust here, right? And then they come inside and they can walk the first space. And what was that, what we saw down at the bottom of the hill?
Yeah, so the Hillside School building was another building designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, and that he designed originally for two of his aunts that had a boarding school. And then he eventually came to own the property and used it as kind of the home base for his apprentices. There's a large drafting studio there. That is part of two of the tours that we offer regularly as well.
And then you can take the little road up to the house where it just kind of presents itself on the side of the hill here, which was particularly built the way it was to capture the summer winds and avoid the winter winds, and nestled in the side of the hill, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The house was meant to be a part of the natural landscape and just blend in with its surroundings. So he used local natural materials to build it, and he took a lot of inspiration from the driftless region around him.
And the residential house that we're in right now is connected to his own personal studio that was all his right here, that was connected, that was saved. It's part of the original structure because this has survived a couple fires, so much so that you could even see some of the wood damage in one of the vents that they have connecting the two buildings.
Right, yep, exactly. So the private kind of residential wing of the house is burned down twice, but Frank Lloyd Wright rebuilt it after both fires, changing the plan every time to experiment with some new ideas. But his personal studio is just right next door, never burnt down, so that you get kind of some hints at that original 1911 Talliesin, and it's a really inspirational space where he was coming up with some of his most brilliant architectural designs.
And it has this beautiful view of the garden with the plunge pool as one of the little amenities where he just would jump in because it was nice and cool on a hot day and here in the summertime up here in Wisconsin.
Absolutely.
Along with the fountain and that overlooks the entire garden here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So he took into account the landscape design as well. Every little piece of this was designed for the building to just blend in with its surroundings. So, some water features, gardens that included, native plants, and, every little piece of it here, harkens back to his ideas and his philosophies for his design.
What's the best way for people to get tickets for this experience?
Yeah, so if you go to talliesinpreservation.org, you can find all the information about all the different types of tours that we offer. We have 4 tours that go out every day regularly, pretty much every day, May through October, anyway. And then we have a special experience called Family Day, where you can just walk the grounds on your own. And that's once a month on Sundays. And another landscape kind of focused experience, our Driftless Landscape Tour, which is offered every other Saturday, that focuses more on the natural elements on the estate.
Well, fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And there's a tour coming through, so we're going to get out of the way. But Christina, thank you very much. That was the Chicago Scene on the road. What's the town that I'm in, Christina?
Spring Green.
Spring Green. This is the view. We hit Milwaukee. We hit Madison, and now we are here in Spring Green at Frank Lloyd Wright estate called Talliesin, and this is the garden. And thank you for watching. TBARNAS at WGNTV.com. That's TBarnes at WGNTV.com if you have a suggestion for the Chicago Scene. Until then, enjoy the view.